Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm doing another Q&A video where I take your questions from Twitter and I answer them all in this video. We've got a lot of amazing questions to get to today, so let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. Alright, so our first question today comes from Les Baker, who says, do you think we will be getting the returning player bonuses on Tuesday? So if you don't know what the returning player bonuses is, it's a couple of vehicles. It's the Duke of Death, the regular Dukes, the Stallion, the Kraken, and then the Dodo Seaplane. I think that's all of them, and then the Ballista Compact as well. I think those are all the vehicles, and I do think that we are going to be getting the returning player bonus stuff on Tuesday. I also think there's going to be a new adversary mode coming as well, just based off of the way Rockstar has ended their discounts. They're actually set to end tomorrow for the double money NRP, which to me indicates that there's going to be a new double money NRP opportunity, and I would only assume that that would be in the form of one of Rockstar's upcoming adversary modes that they still have hidden in the game from Cunning Stunt Special Vehicle Circuit. So yes, I am looking forward to that, and I'm also excited to see what this adversary mode could be like, because some of them are really good and others are just really, really terrible. Like the Resurrection one, I don't think is all that good, but I think it was salvaged by the fact that it gave players so much money. So it'll be interesting to see what this next one is like and how the community will react to it when it is added into the game as well. Moving on, we have a question from Hunter, who says, do you think Rockstar will not add the Duke of Death with the returning player bonuses and save it for another time? So Hunter actually brings up a very interesting question. According to FunMW2, the way that the tunables work, which is essentially the light switches that Rockstar can flip up and down to add content into the game, the Duke of Death is the only returning player bonus vehicle that is separated from the rest. So it's the Dukes, Stallion, Ballista Compact, Kraken, Dodo Seaplane. They're all lump summed together with one tunable. So if one of them comes out, all the others have to come out. The only issue is the Duke of Death is the one that is separated. And that's something I talked about in my video, a couple days ago, saying that Rockstar could basically save the Duke of Death for at least another week if they wanted to, just to build up the hype and anticipation and suspense around this vehicle, because they fully know that we want this car in the game, and that most people, like myself, already have experienced the Dukes and the Stallion and the Dodo Seaplane and the Kraken. So it honestly wouldn't surprise me if Rockstar saved the Duke of Death for another drip feed week. I mean, why wouldn't they at this point? They're trying to extend the life of GTA Online, at least until the next DLC, which of course is going to be Gunrunning. So don't be surprised if that is done, but also at the same rate, don't be surprised if they just release it all at once and allow us to enjoy it. But just keep that in mind, that at least Rockstar has the ability to save the Duke of Death for another week while still releasing some of the other stuff like the Dukes, Kraken, Ballista Compact, etc. Alright, now let's move on to Gunrunning, as you guys had a lot of questions regarding this update, and that makes sense because it's one of the most anticipated DLCs in online. This first question comes from Superman16, who says, Mr. Boss, hi, do you think the Gunrunning DLC would be linked with the CEO in GTA Online, or would it be independent? So, Superman, I think that it's going to be independent, where we're going to be either forming our own army group or militia. I don't know what Rockstar is going to call it, but I think it's going to be something like that. If it is going to be connected to one of the finance stuffs, I think it's going to be the bikers. To me, that makes the most sense. I think that the car importing and exporting was really similar to what the CEO stuff was, and I think that this military stuff, if it's not going to be separate, will be an extension of bikers. Although I do think it's going to be separate. I think we're going to get like a little triforce of different operations you can have in the game: bikers, CEO, and then military militia. I actually want it to be independent, because then I think Rockstar will add more features and they'll add really more cool content, rather than if they just package it with bikers. I think we'll get a lot of reused stuff, and that's not really what I'm hoping with a big massive DLC like Gunrunning. Speaking of those massive features, we have a question from Charlie, who says, will Rockstar let us open the back of the door on the Cargo Bob and the Titan in the Gunrunning DLC? Charlie, that is the exact sort of feature I want to see added in this update. There's no reason why Rockstar can't allow us to open the back of the door of the Titan and the Cargo Bob. In fact, in some of the biker missions, they have Titans that are open with like stuff and cargo in the back. So I think it's so easy for them to do, and I think features like that would be incredibly useful. I mean, basically, they just need to give us an interaction menu for using Pegasus vehicles. So whether it's opening doors or opening the back, letting players get in and sit in them, I think that's what they need to do. And I think that that's going to be a big part of the Gunrunning DLC, is if it has a lot of cool features, like what you just said, Charlie, opening the back of the Cargo Bob and the Titan, because that just can lead to so many fun things. And I guess that's a great time to mention that in a couple hours from now, I am going to be doing a live stream here on my channel. We're going to be having a lot of fun with the returning player bonus stuff like the Dukes, the Stallion, the Duke of Death. We're also going to be playing around with the Titan and the Cargo Planes and Cargo Bobs. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that in a couple hours, at least from when this video goes live. Okay, up next we have a question from Finest Boy, who says, do you think we can buy aircraft carriers in the next DLC? If so, how much do you think they're going to cost? So if the aircraft carrier becomes available for us to purchase in online, I think they are going to be incredibly expensive. I mean, just compare them to the size of the yachts. The aircraft carrier is probably about 2 to 3 times bigger than the yacht. I'm not sure like what sort of features they could put on there, possibly like Pegasus customization or storage, or another place where you could start up various military militia missions or store gun running supplies there. I mean, really the possibilities are endless. If Rockstar does add them into the game, I could easily see them being in anywhere in like the $10 to $15 million range, really, because the yachts are in that $6 to $8 million range. So it will definitely be interesting to see if Rockstar does that. I mean, the aircraft carrier is in the game. It was only used for like one heist mission and then one adversary mode power play. Well, I guess they used it on Resurrection too. But regardless, they added this awesome vessel into the game and have only used it really seldomly in online, which to me is a little bit confusing. So hopefully they allow us to take more advantage of that awesome beast. Up next, we have a question from Oscar, who says, if Rockstar adds the aircraft carrier, do you think they'll add 3 different types just like the yachts? So that would be like the Orion, the Pisces, and the Aquarius of aircraft carriers. That could actually be pretty interesting. I really do think it would all come down to the features I just mentioned. Like the highest end yacht would have Pegasus customization. It would have storage for your gun running supplies. I'm sure it would have, you know, different types of vehicles that spawn on there, very similarly to the yacht, how, you know, you can get different types of helicopters, different types of boats, depending on which one you select. That would actually be pretty awesome, and I think that would be cool. Again, it would all depend on the price, but Rockstar seems to really like doing that lately, having a kind of low-end price and then a higher-end price. The low-end price is if you like complete a mission, the high-end price is if you haven't. So, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they did that and gave us 3 different options for the aircraft carriers. All right, so our next 2 questions are pretty much the exact same thing. This first one is, do you think that with the next update, Gunrunning, they will add in new stores and websites? And then a follow-up question is, do you think that Rockstar will add a new website to order from the Gunrunning DLC? So I think at a minimum, there is going to be one new website, and I think that's going to be the purchase of our bunkers, possibly even the way we order military supplies or do our sourcing missions. So you guys know with bikers, we got 2 new websites. We got the website that was like that foreclosure one where we actually bought our MC clubhouses, and then we had the open road, which is where we did like the biker missions and stuff like that. I think it's going to be pretty similar to the militia stuff. I think you're going to have a website like a, you know, a used military bunker site that you could purchase these hangars and bases from. And then I think there's going to be a website associated with the business where you source, you know, weapons and, you know, ammo that's been going through Los Santos and San Andreas. So those are the 2 websites that I think they're going to be using. I think that for the vehicles, they're just going to use Warstock Cash and Carry and, you know, Legendary Motorsport, if that is the case. And as far as new stores go, I don't think so. Unless there's something crazy like Pegasus customization where they turn one of the airport hangars into a place where you could bring Pegasus vehicles, have them customized. I don't think that's the case. I think that they're only going to add websites at a minimum, and I don't think that there's going to be like a new Benny's or anything like that. I think that would be a little bit too much, although Rockstar could surprise us and do something pretty crazy like that. Moving on, our next question comes from Toxic, who says, do you think there will be some supercars added within the Gunrunning DLC? Toxic, my prediction is going to be no. just because the last couple DLCs, specifically Import-Export and Special Vehicle Circuit, have had a ton of supercars. I mean, if we go back, we had the GP1, we had the Itali GTB, the Itali GTB Custom, Nero Custom. Import-Export also had the Tempesta, and it had the Penetrator. So needless to say, we've had a ton of supercars recently, and I think Rockstar is going to shift to a different vibe with the Gunrunning DLC. Hope it's a lot of muscle and off-road and military, stuff like that. I think the supercar category needs a little bit of a break, but who knows? Rockstar love themselves some supercars, so they might end up adding something like that with Gunrunning. And then finally, last but not least, our final question comes from Alfie, who says, why do you think certain players got the free $500,000 reward? That's right, Rockstar has kind of revamped their giving out of free money in Grand Theft Auto Online. I've seen players getting $250,000, but more recently it's been $500,000, and I have not received it, so apparently I'm not on Rockstar's good list. But regardless, I don't think that this was an accident. I do think that Rockstar is continuing to do this because I think the next DLC, Gunrunning, is going to be very expensive, and I'm sure Rockstar is hoping that you take that money and you save it, or that you invest in another system to hopefully make more money in online, like you use the $500,000 to start a biker clubhouse or fund your CEO system. But yeah, I do think it means that the next update is going to be free. As to why certain players are getting them, I'm not sure. I know some people that have gotten it 7 times, and I know people that have gotten it only once, kind of like myself. So like I said, if you have gotten the free money, let us know in the comments section down below, because it is really a mystery as to how players are getting this free money. But I'm not going to complain because free money is awesome. But anyways, that's all the questions that I'm going to be answering in this week's Q&A video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. As always, if you want to be featured in the next one, all you got to do is go down in the description. Follow me on Twitter. Use the hashtag AskBoss whenever I'm looking for Q&A questions, and you might find yourself featured in the next one. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Reminder, I will be live streaming in a couple hours, so stay tuned for that. But of course, out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.